Let's go with this. This is a GPS, and what I'm going to do with the GPS is I'm going to mount that on the front of the plane here. I'm going to actually go in here like this. So given that we're not going to have a pilot in the plane, but we've got this beautiful canopy, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to mount that. This is how that canopy should be mounted anyway. I'm actually going to mount that GPS right on the front there, right under the canopy. And in some respects, that's for demo purposes. I could technically mount that GPS maybe underneath. I thought about doing that because it can still get a signal through balsa. And it might look a little better, but part of the point of this plane is to show off the concept of having a flight controller in a classic RC plane. So why not make it obvious that there's a GPS there, and so you'll be able to see that you'll have the GPS there, the flight controller here, and in a second I'll show you how the camera's going to go. But let's do the GPS next. So this GPS, now let's unplug this. You know, technically it might be safe to unplug and plug things while under power, but I don't like to do that. This GPS is a brand new piece of technology from Qio-Tek. This Qio-Tek is the Chinese English name of the company. It actually stands for aerospace. And so Chinese aerospace technology, Qio-Tek, they make this flight controller. They also make this GPS. Now, if you've done a little bit of looking around at flight controllers and GPSs, you've seen things like U-blocks and Baytan, and quite commonly, especially in the ArduPilot Pixhawk world, the M10S GPS, which is actually from U-blocks. But this is an M10S. This is an upgrade. This is the next generation GPS after the M8N, which has been around for years. This is a new GPS. It's able to produce very fast fixes, get more satellites, and produce a very accurate position. But what it also has is this connector here, and I just absolutely love this. This is a CAN bus, or a drone CAN connector. So this doesn't use your old-fashioned UART serial RS232, RS422, whatever modem sound, 57600 or 9600 baud connection to the flight controller. This uses a 1 megabit per second connection with a bus drone CAN that can have multiple devices connected, and it's all software configurable, and you can get telemetry and debug through the wire to the flight controller, and even send that off to the ArduPilot developer team or to the Qio-Tek developer team to get support. Drone CAN is awesome, and this M10S GPS is awesome. This is my first time trying this one, and I had to learn a little bit about it. One of the funny things is it comes with these two connectors, and I honestly, when I opened the box, I didn't know what to do with that. I thought, oh, well, that'll be the GPS, and maybe this is for the compass. So I plugged that into one of the other connectors, the I2C connector, and it seemed to work. But then I contacted the Qio-Tek support, and they told me, no, don't connect that. You don't actually need it. I almost think I should cut it off, but not quite ready to do that. But the recommendation right now is only connect this one wire, and you connect that to the drone CAN port, which is, as you can see, labeled on here. You might have to zoom in a lot, but this is the one on the very far right of the flight controller, and it clicks in, nice solid click when that goes in, and this connector doesn't connect. So with that GPS now connected to the flight controller, I should be able to get a GPS signal. Now I'm in a house, but it's a wooden house. Now I'm not in the concrete apartment that I used to be at before, so I should be able to get a GPS signal. And I also, because this is connected to this end of the flight controller, that GPS should come on even if I power from USB. So I don't need the full power circuit in order to get the GPS to work. So let's power on the GPS and see how that comes up. That's just a bit of a distraction, but what I also have running on Mission Planner right now is it's connected to my ADS-B receiver that I have over in the corner here, and you can actually see planes flying around near where I am. I'll zoom in a little bit more just so you can see that they're actually moving. That's my receiver sitting on the roof detecting planes that are literally flying around. In any case, you're not really here for that. It's just kind of fun though. All right, so now we have GPS. And look at that. The GPS comes up. So what we have is a red light, power, blue light, drone can. That means that connected to the flight controller and communicating. And orange light is GPS signal. So if I connect Mission Planner, okay, so what we have is we now have 19 satellites and a 0.64 HDOP, which is good. I mean, honestly, I really don't know what HDOP means or how it works. What I know is you really need to have it less than 1. As long as HDOP is less than 1, then you're good. And 19 satellites inside a house, this GPS is working really, really well. One thing that did happen to me when I was setting up this GPS initially is I was doing it over on my bench, surrounded by my screens and my computer and my keyboard and a bunch of metal and maybe a bunch of circuits that were running, and this GPS did have a hard time getting satellites. It's great over here, and that's only a meter away, but when it was right next to everything, it really didn't get a good signal, and I thought it was broken. Honestly, I thought there was a problem. And all I had to do was just move it a little further away from everything, and it worked, which is another indication of something you have to watch out for when you put a GPS like this in your plane, which is why in this plane here, put that in the frame, when we mount that GPS up here on the plane like that, well, what's going to be near it? And the answer is, well, the flight controller is going to be sort of near it, but nothing else is. The servos are miles away, the motor's a long way away, the ESC, the battery are way over here at the front, and the camera, I'll show you in a second how the camera's going to go. That's going to be a lot further away from that, that GPS, so I don't think we'll have a problem with the GPS mounting it there. It should be getting a good view of the sky, which is what it needs to get the signal from the GPS. So